Good morning, grade 10. I'm again sitting outside because it just feels better outside and I've got a view on the mountains, so you might hear the dogs bark. But let's do activity 14.9 and we're going to do this in two sections. Okay, lesson 1 and maybe later today lesson 2, otherwise we'll just keep it for tomorrow. Now they ask you in the textbook which use the wages journal of Protea traders from activities 14.5 and 14.6. Now you've got those two activities in your book. And the following summary of the wages journals of Protea traders for the weeks ended 6 and 13 January. So you will see that in January we had 4 weeks, and at the end of each week we had a journal. Okay, now in your textbook on the next page, they give you a summary of the journals for the week ended 6th of January. And then 13th of January was the next week. It's just a summary. So they just give you the totals over there. Okay, so 6 and 13. And at the end of 20 January and 27 January, those were two exercises that you did. Okay, so that was exercise 14.5 was 20 January and 14.6 was 27th of January. So now you've got your 4 wages journals and you can just start posting. Okay, so let's start with a summary on page 277 and start posting that to the general ledger. Forget about the cash payments journal. You can't use the cash payments journal now. You're not ready for that now. We have to post to the general ledger first. Okay, so let's start with the totals. The summary, sorry, this is a bit skew. For the week ended 6 January 2016. Now my gross wage, you know the gross wage or the gross salary goes directly to the wages account. So let's go to the wages account and I write in my wages account on the debit side, and we are now at the end of this a week that ends on the 6th of January. So we've got 2016 January the 6th of January, and what am I going to say? Gross wages, and this comes from the wages journal, and my gross wages was 3,600 rand. Okay, so 3,600 rand in your textbook over there. Now that 3,600 was compiled by the pension fund, the medical aid, the UIF, pay as you earn, okay, and my net wage of 267. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 amounts is included in that 3,600, and because the wages journal was debited, all those accounts must be credited because they are now my creditors. So I start with my pension fund, and on the credit side of my pension fund I am going to write 2016, that's January the 6th, and this is wages from the wages journal, and the amount was 150 rand. I do the same with my UIF. I'm going to credit my UIF 2016 January the 6th. This is not so nice. Okay, and this is wages from the wages journal, and the amount is 18 rand. Right, the medical aid will be credited 2016 January the 6th. Wages, because it's included in wages, and the amount is, what was the amount? 42 rand. This comes from the wages journal. And 2016 January the 6th was SARS, okay, for the tax from the wages journal, and that amount was 720 rand. Right, and then the last one is my creditors for wages, my employees. In the wages journal, I calculate what I owe them, and now I write that in. They are now my creditors. Wages, because it's included in wages, from the wages journal, and it's 2670. Right, gentlemen, so now we've posted the deduction side, that part that was subtracted from the wage of the employee. And now we have to do the contributions. Now remember, the contribution comes from the business pocket. And at this stage, the business owes the pension fund from their own pocket 300 Rand. They owe UIF 18 Rand. That's for the end of this week. That ends on the 6th of February. So what am I going to do? My pension fund contribution and the UIF contributions are both expenses. And therefore, I am going to debit them. Right, so I'm going to go to the pension fund 2016 January. It's an expense. It decreases my owner's equity, therefore I debit this, and it's on the 6th. And what is my creditor? What's going to be creditor? My pension fund, and it's from the wages journal, and that amount is, let me see what that amount is. Pension fund contribution was 300 Rand. Right, and I have to credit my pension fund. Okay, so where's my pension fund? My pension fund at this stage is my creditor. So also on the 6th, I'm going to have what? Pension fund contribution from the wages journal. And that amount was, what was the amount from the wages journal? We did the, okay, that was 300 Rand. Okay. Then the UIF, I'm going to debit the UIF contribution. Where's my UIF contribution? Pension fund contribution. Sorry, gentlemen. There's my UIF contribution on the debit side, 2016 January the 6th. And I'm going to say UIF, Unemployment Insurance Fund. He is now my creditor, and I owe the UIF 18 Rand. And I'm going to credit my UIF account. Where's my UIF account? Pension fund, previous pages. Here's my UIF account. I'm going to credit this with UIF contributions from the wages journal, and that was also, I think, 18 Rand. So now you've posted the wages journal that ends on the 6th of January. Now you're going to do exactly the same with the 13th of January, with the 20th of January, and the 27th of January. So that is what you are going to do. Now I'm going to stop this video now. Your work is to complete the other. So you're going to have 13, 2 entries, 20th, 2 entries, 27th, 2 entries. And then you stop right there. And then we will do the cash payments journal together. Thank you, grade 10.